Hello everyone and welcome back to another review on the Downsized Dream Cars YouTube channel. Before we get into this review, I would like to apologize for the lack of content in the past month. Some things have been happening behind the scenes and I felt like I couldn't meet my quality standard, so I decided to wait until I figured it all out, and here we are today for another review. Now, if you've got a keen eye, you might see a couple of differences compared to the last videos. The first one would be my gloves. I got a new pair of gloves which are more fitting to my hands and not as large as the other ones. And even though they're rougher, I think these will be a bit better for the experience of the review. And the other one, of course, would be the stand that the beautiful model is sitting on. I made it a couple of weeks prior to making this video and I think it turned out pretty good. It gives a very nice red carpet feel, which is exactly what I'm trying to go for. But anyways, we're not here to talk about gloves and stands. We are here for a very, very special review. At least it's special to me. This is a very beautiful model, so I guess I should just show you. Let's take this from here, and underneath this cloth is sitting a very beautiful Inno64 model. Wow, would you look at that. Now, what we've got here is the Nissan Skyline R34 GTR V-Spec Noir. Isn't that a mouthful? But it looks amazing. But of course, we should systematically go through this for the purpose of the review. It's an Inno64 model, as I've said. It is 1/64 scale. You've got a very nice illustration here of the car on the back and the Inno64 website. And on the bottom, we've got a lot of information. Let's make sure it focuses on it though. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so it's a licensed Nissan product, which is awesome to see. You've got the Inno64 social media here, and we've got some information here. This is the Nissan Skyline GTR R34 V-Spec Tuner in Bayside Blue, the factory color of the real car, of course. The very, very well-known and sought-after color, the Bayside Blue. And this is an exact scale ornamental model for an adult collector, not suitable for children under 14 years old. Well, I would have to agree with that because I use these models as display models, and you can see I've got a little bit of a collection going on there. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be well, let's count. We've got one R34, we've got another one there, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is my sixth R34 GTR. So I think you could say that I really like this car, this model from Nissan, and you would be absolutely right. Without further ado, let's take it out of the sleeve so we can take a better look at it. This is of course an acrylic case, so the model is encapsulated in it, of course protecting it from dust and the elements. And I'm a very big fan of this acrylic case type of model. Even though they take up quite a lot of space, it just makes it look so pristine. But let's take this cover off. Well, if I can just take it off. Also, fun fact, even though I had this model for like a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks ago I got it, I have never opened this box, not even once. So that might be why I'm struggling to open it. Okay, here it is. You can see It's very beautifully written here, the model name, the emblem, the GTR emblem, and the Inno emblem. Okay, so starting off with the base, well, there isn't much here except, the Inno64 logo, and the model is being held down on the base with a screw. So let's start with the front then. Let me zoom in so you can get a better view of this. This is a very detailed model, as the case is with like all Inno64 models, which is why I enjoy it so much. I enjoy collecting them because they're like little jewels. Anyway, in the front we've got a very, very nice front end. You've got, if I can get my pick here, you've got lensed headlights with no printing on them, so everything you see is behind the lens. You've got a nice mesh grille here and here and here. With the GTR badge, it's metallic, so it reflects light quite well. You've got a license plate that says it says Skyline GTR, and an exposed intercooler. Isn't that awesome? You've also got a black lip right here, which is specific to the V-Spec 2 trim. Oh, and before I forget, you've also got printed signals, turn signals in the front bumper, which they look pretty nice. On the sides, we've got quite a lot of stuff going on here. Let me make sure it focuses on everything. There we go. You've got the turn signal here, which is detailed, has a bit of orange and a little bit of silver in there. You've got the GT, the red GT badge, which means that this is a turbocharged model. Usually, of course, as you know, the R34 was also made in non-GTR trim, and the naturally aspirated versions of the GT model actually had a blue emblem right there. Well, this has a red one because it's turbocharged. And you can also see a very nice carbon fiber Nakad duct on the hood, which provides the twin turbo RB26 engine with fresh air. So it produces just a little bit of more horsepower. You've got work T37 race wheels in white with blue stickers. You've got painted calipers and brake discs, which look amazing. It really gives a feel of depth to the car. It's awesome. You've got the Nismo carbon fiber B-pillar cover with the nice Nismo logo there, and a nice HKS logo on their quarter window right there. The mirrors are very stiff. I think they're made of plastic. They're not flexible like on Mini GTs, so I would be careful not to break these off. But they also have a little bit of reflective sticker there. Yep. Moving on to the rear, you've got the infamous R34 rear end with the 4 tail lights. You can see it has a Nissan badge there, a GTR badge there with the lock for the trunk, the V-Spec 2 NER badging, and you've got a very nice license plate that shows the Skyline GTR emblem. You've also got you've got the reverse light and the fog light in the rear bumper, and what seems to be an aftermarket muffler, supposedly a Nismo Weldina muffler, which is the Nismo official Nismo exhaust system that was made for the Skyline GTR range. You've also got a Nismo badge right here on the gurney flap of the carbon fiber. Well, the gurney flap is carbon fiber, but this is the spoiler, and I think it just looks so nice. This is the new logo Nismo, which looks amazing on this. Also, the contrast, the white rays T37 wheels make on the Bayside blue paint is just stunning. On this other side, you can see we've got the HKS sticker there on the quarter window. Of course, just like the other side, we've got the Nismo B-pillar carbon fiber trim, and the rear windshield actually has the defroster lines, which are very beautifully printed on there. They're very nice, and it looks like they are printed on the inside of the windshield, because you can't really see a whole lot of reflection, like the lines in the reflection. So that's awesome. One more thing that I forgot to mention, you can also see the door lock right there with a little bit of silver, and the door handles are very nicely recessed. So you can see there's quite a lot of detail here. You've also got the gas door, of course, and it seems that we have made our way back to the front. These headlights look amazing, and honestly, when I see this model on my desk, it's almost like seeing the real thing, the real car on my desk, and it just stands out. I really love it. As for the interior, we can see we've got the seats in there, which are just like the real car's seats with the pattern. We've got the MFD right there, which displays every sort of information you would want about the engine in the real car, of course. The steering wheel, you can see the shifter and the handbrake and the armrest right there, and of course, as you can see, the plastic is very clear. It doesn't really distort all that much, and the rear quarter windows and the rear windshield are actually tinted black. Now you can see through them, it's just very hard to see through them because they're very tinted, but I feel like this gives the car a very nice look. And you can see in the back there you've got the back seats, which are kind of small, but this is still a two-door, four-seater car. So that's very nice. I really like this model. Ever since I got it, it's been basking in all of its glory on my desk, and I just can't get my eyes off of it, so I decided to, make a review on it, of course. As a comparison, if I can just get it to focus, of course, I've got a Mini GT model here because the Inno64 model is not actually on the real OEM wheels, but this Mini GT model is, and you can see the differences. I mean, well, the Inno64 is much more detailed, much more refined than the Mini GT, but I would say that these two look quite good together. I also found that the Inno64 model is a bit smaller than the Mini GT, which, I mean, it's really subjective because all these different brands make their own renditions and their own laser scanning of the real cars. So yeah, you can see on the Mini GT model, it's actually got the original muffler, the two-tip one, whereas the Inno64 has a bigger single one, which is also painted black on the inside, so it gives it that nice depth. to it. You can see how the original R34 wheels look on there, which I really like that model of wheel. I think they look good on anything, but these race T37s just look fantastic. This also has the Nakad Duct, although on the Mini GT is much more recessed and not carbon fiber, whereas on this is also it has a very nice recess and of course the carbon fiber texture. And a very minute detail that I just only now noticed, the windshield washer squirters are actually painted black. Look at that. That's such a small detail. Wow. You've also got molded windshield wipers, which is very nice. There are some models that have them like separate pieces, separate metal etched pieces. Of course, much more expensive models, not Inno64, but I personally like this. I think it just does the job right. So, yeah, it looks just like the real thing. I I haven't had the pleasure to seeing this car in real life, but just having it on my desk in this model from Inno64 makes me feel like, hey, I'm looking at the real thing, and oh, I just love it. Absolutely love it. Let's zoom in on those badges because I'm such a sucker for badges. I really like them. Okay, well, the quality decreased because I zoomed in quite a lot. So let's see if we can do something like this. Yeah, you can see V-Spec to NER right there, the GTR badge. You've also got the trunk tail light, which I haven't mentioned before. The wing is a separate piece made out of plastic, which, my goodness, they got that on there perfectly. And man, that gurney flap on a spoiler with the Nismo logo, too cool. Too cool. I guess I could take this model off the base, but I don't see much point in doing that because, well, as you know, Inno64 models do roll, but they roll a bit harder because, you know, the tires, the fitment, everything. And I don't like to take my Inno64 models off their bases because, well, they're quite fragile and they're so special to me that I wouldn't want to damage them or, you know. But yeah, this is an amazing model from Inno64. I'm really glad I added it to my collection and it's 100% worth it. So, yeah. I guess this would be it for this video. Whoop. And yeah, I also got another Inno64 model that I will review soon. I'm not going to show it to you because, well, you know, it has to be a surprise. And yeah, I guess this is it for now. Thank you very, very much for watching. And again, I apologize for the lack of content in the past month. But if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop a like, maybe even subscribe to see the upcoming videos. And I'll see you next time in another review. Bye bye.